Welcome to another episode of Official Naija FPL, and I'm Bond, and I have some of the guys around in the house to help us dissect today's episodes. We have Sticky, he's coming a full regular. Guys. Sticky, they miss any day. Stick that boy.
Yeah, what you saying?
It's over here.
Official Naija FPL.
Right the corner there, we have
Prof. Oskie again.
And we got a newbie in the house. I won't say newbie because this guy has been playing FPL for a bit, but a newbie, yes, for on the show. Yeah. Right? Okay, what's your team? Please describe it. What's the name of your team?
Jays.
So we have Jays in the house. So anyway, I'm going to start with you, Jay. First of all, why is your team Jays, man?
That's just
Jesse. Short from Jesse.
J for Jonesin.
Yes.
Guys,
to be fair, actually,
up there, my nickname in uni was actually Jesse Jonesin.
You see?
So it was
led by the spirit.
Like that. That's
I was just about to say you're jonesing on our league too.
Literally.
However, but you're not doing too badly for this last game week. You're on 49 points, and I see that.
Counting.
Yeah, man. There's no redeemable. You don't have any other pay. Okay, you have Haaland. Everybody has Haaland.
Haaland captain.
Yeah, Haaland captain. Everyone has Haaland captain. But how have you been seeing the season so far? How's been your...
Man, I've been doing poorly this season. I'm not gonna lie. But I was thinking of hanging my boots. But
why?
That's
why are
true.
you stammering?
I think you're used to that.
I'm
though.
not a coward. I'll just try and continue with this season. But I know I'm not having a good season. But
Jays, I really don't think you should hang your boots or throw in the towel right now. It's game 19 for most teams, and so we're just half of the season. And you know how it is. The same way people have done well in the first half of the season, you might be among the next set of people that will do well in the next half of the season. I remember that there's a wild card hanging somewhere and all of that, and it seems like the performance has started to change.
Switch, yeah.
Do you understand? So if you are first on the bandwagon of the performing players right now, you might probably just start to cut some of the gap, because a lot of people in the first 19 games want to stick to their performance. But the season is looking funny.
I'm going to add.
I agree.
I'm going to add this. Oscar will know this because he's in your own same, situation.
I'm talking out of place, man.
He's hoping to have a good finish. So, but Oscar, you're not doing badly this week. You have 49, just like Jess.
Yeah.
I don't know, because this season is the average is 42. We expect to be doing much, much better. But it's been a funny. We are having, her normal high scorers not doing well. Kane, Mitrovic with a 0, missed a penalty. Fucking hell.
Like a baby.
Oh, God.
He missed it like a baby.
And then Kane. And then Haaland. We're going to talk more about Haaland later on the show. But what do you think is happening in the league in the last couple of game weeks?
So first things, I think Southampton has found Man City out. Right? I'm going to say this now for some people watching. They've been waiting for me to say it and they will laugh, because I basically used the same argument on the Ronaldo thing when he was in Man U. I think Man City is playing too much to Haaland's strength.
Yes.
And they've changed their style of play, right? And so I don't think Man City is as dangerous as they were without Haaland or without a proper striker last season as they had this season. But at first, a lot of teams try to block Haaland out. But Haaland will muscle anybody and score the goals. So Southampton and some other teams thought us that to stop Haaland, you have to stop the
passes.
You have to stop the service.
Is Man U the other teams that you're talking about?
Oh yes, it happened. No, it really happened during Man U.
Oh
game.
yeah,
you remember that? Was it the
Man U was
game?
A clinic.
Was it the Man U game or the game before the Southampton game that Haaland on the pitch had the fewest touches?
I think it was the Southampton game. But the Man U game, the only time that
7 or 8 touches.
The only time that De Bruyne had that was free from Fred was when the goal came in for Man City. After that, I'm sure De Bruyne is Fred is still beside De Bruyne now.
So just cut that off. Cut De Bruyne off, and then before they had some people who will come in and dazzle. Right, so even if De Bruyne is having a down day, then they'll have Jesus on the bench. Jesus will come in
Gundogan.
and dazzle. They had players like Sterling that could also dazzle and everything. I really don't
Bernardo
know. I
Silva.
used to respect Mahrez a lot, but I'm seeing the reason why Pep gets to bench him. Pep used to bench him, right? And everything. I don't think Mahrez is as up there as I thought.
So for me, I think, yeah, you know, you have
First of all, before you go into this one, because that's where I'm going to after this, but I want you to talk about the game weeks. You know, the where the points are coming from, what you know, where your feeling is at right moments, like, you know.
Yeah. So I remember we spoke about players and, you know, which players having good forms in positions that are, you know, doing well in FPL this season, and we spoke about attackers, you know, doing well. Quite a number of few attackers are, you know, have been banging in points, and likes of Mitrovic, Ivan Toney, Haaland, Kane, you know, and a few differentials from other teams. Solimatch is, you know, also banging in points. Trossard, the likes of Amiron, you know, etc. So I feel, excuse me, this season is, like Prof Oskie said, the first half, you know, was a different type of bandwagon, and we're getting into the second half. So I feel like there'll be a shift in this whole point sharing thing.
I remember I was talking beginning of the season. We were saying that it looks like a strikers league. So like buttressing your point, and you know there was a focus on us, you know, getting as many strikers, you know, instead of balancing out, and then you know they're not keeping a lot of clean sheets.
Yeah.
And but it seems that the season has gone on, the clean sheets have been coming more and more.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a couple of people, I think, including our producer on the other side of the camera, that had Ramsdale,
Truly
White,
FC.
yeah, on the bench, because you know you expect them to,
I did as well.
you know,
Yeah.
to not keep
I
a
had
clean
White on the
sheet.
bench, yeah.
And 18 points on the bench. So what is happening now is that there are a lot more clean sheets being kept, you know, than it used to be at the beginning of the season. The strikers are not scoring as often as they used to be.
Yeah,
They're not popping out. So it's like you said, this might be a situation whereby you might have to change your strategy, and whoever changes their strategy to a winning strategy
Can I come in there?
right now would be.
So whatever we talked about strikers and defenders in the league is actually very true, because the league is seeing like more goals than it has seen in a long time, right? Haaland is on 20-something goals already. Nobody has ever been on like 20-something goals at this time of the season.
True,
But
yeah.
guess what? Kane is doing so well on about 14 goals or something.
15
goals. Yeah.
Tony,
And
13.
on a normal day, right? 15 goals at this point of the season
phenomenal.
is phenomenal, because it almost says that you're going to score 30 goals at the end of the season, right?
Yep.
There are a lot of people on double figures already. I think Tony's on double figures. I don't know what
Mitrovic
Mitrovic
is on double
Yeah,
figures.
so you have a lot of strikers who are literally breaking. So we were correct from the beginning when we said that. Now go back to defense and go back to what Bond was saying, right? It's not like we started to have a lot of clean sheets, because if you look at the defensive records of most of the teams in the Premier League, it's actually worse than it has been in recent seasons. So
Hey, no, but we're not talking about recent seasons.
no, I'm talking about wholesome. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
no, so
Because-
let's compare where we are now. So let's look at the season.
Yes,
From the beginning of
where
the
I was coming
season
from, yeah. Newcastle has the best defense, right? And I've seen a couple of people in FPL starting to double on Newcastle defense.
Yeah.
Like they started to
Mr.
double on
Producer.
it, and week in, week out, they are getting numbers.
Yeah.
Right. Arsenal has the next best defense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. And then it's also okay for you to double on an Arsenal defense, but it's harder to double on an Arsenal defense because Arsenal has a lot of attacking returns. So if you can only have 3 players from Arsenal, you don't want to be doing a double defense from Arsenal. So people depend to do that with Newcastle rather, right? Then now look across the league. Man U was almost coming close to having like clean sheets and a good defense.
That's who I was going to call now.
Yeah, so Man U probably come third.
Yeah,
Not because they have the third best defense, but I mean in
Right
recent
now,
games,
yes.
they're coming close. Beyond those teams, there's really no other defense that you can be
But
comfortable
that is how
with.
you're going to look at. So the truth about it is, you're not going to go and get a defender from, say, Southampton, because you know that no matter how well they do, they will
They
ship
always
in some
concede.
goals. So you're always going to go to some of the better teams anyway for your defense. But what was happening in the beginning of the season was that nobody was keeping clean sheets, including in Newcastle. right? Now,
I
right?
remember.
They're seeing some clean sheets.
They're keeping
But
clean
guess
sheets.
what? So the
Arsenal
star,
even
so
started
the star defenders who FPL will put on
6.5, 7
6.5,
points.
7.
They're
All
not
of them
keeping
do
clean
not
sheets.
worth being. It's not worth their being in your team anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Do you
they're
get
not
what I
keeping
mean?
clean sheets.
So the defenders who are keeping clean sheets today, you can afford to have them in your team and still have a good amount to have a quality
Exactly.
striker
So
midfield.
what we are
Yeah.
saying now, it's not, that's what I'm saying. The strategy. It's not necessarily saying go back to the old strategy of getting expensive defenders.
Yeah.
It's just saying that, you know what,
Figure out the defenders.
exactly,
to get,
figure out defenders you need to get. Because I mean, look, I look at I've had White for most of the season, and like
same
joke
here.
like joke. They are the
He's
three.
up there, yeah.
They are the three highest. They're one of the White, Saliba, and Gabriel are one of the highest returning defenders in the whole league.
Yeah.
But they're also quite one of the cheapest as well.
Yeah.
So you know they are
As
giving
well as Trippier and Shaw.
yeah, and Shaw. So they're giving returns.
So I'm asking you, will you? So if you're going to triple on Arsenal in your fantasy team, how do you triple on them?
So if I'll triple, no. So the thing about it for me, and especially Arsenal, I'll use I'll triple on a Newcastle defense wise, because Newcastle is, you can tell that defense is their main strength.
So you can use 2 Newcastle defenders and 1 Newcastle
At
midfielder.
midfielder.
But if you're to do that with Arsenal, what will you do?
So with Arsenal, I'll do 1 defender and 2 midfielders.
Attacking.
I would not go for the attacker.
So what most people have is Ben White,
Ramsdale.
Martinelli, and Nketiah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's
For me,
actually that's what I have.
For me, I
Osaka,
have Ramsdale, White, and Martinelli.
Okay.
So I think that's my triple.
Will you advise?
I don't.
Will you
have
advise
an
the
Arsenal
fantasy?
triple anymore.
Well, in any kind of this thing.
No, I used to have Jesus, White, and Saka, but now I just have Martinelli and White.
So the way I look at it is that my strategy has always been, look, you go for teams that are doing well, and chances are they'll get points for you. So, I mean, if you look at any of the best, managers, you find that their team is built around the first 2-3 guys in the league, and then you have differentials from here and there to spice things up.
True that.
If I was going to look at it, my team would always have an Arsenal, would always have Newcastle in moments, and then Man City, right? It's the amount of which one of them it is what we have. So at the moment, as I look at it now, I look at Man City, which is what we're going to talk about right after this segment, is Man City now. You mentioned it. The attack isn't doing as well, right? So you now start wondering what you do with this. Do you take them out of this thing? Because Man City has always been about their attack, right? They've never really been about their defensive record and things like that. Although last season they did pretty well in their defense, but it's always been about the attack. So now, do you take out Man City and bring in Man U assets into replace? Because form-wise,
Man U
is doing-
Haaland.
who?
Haaland.
No, for instance, personally, I'm taking out De Bruyne. So I'm taking out De Bruyne this season. I didn't make a transfer last week because I want to have an extra transfer now to take out De Bruyne and probably bring in Kane and mix things up a bit.
So you're not bringing anybody from
I
Man U?
don't know if you can
What?
check.
You're
I don't
not
know if you
bringing
can.
anybody from
I
Man U?
already have Rashford.
So I don't know if you can
Rashford,
check.
yeah.
I don't know if you can check, right? But I'll be happy if you can check. If you can check the fantasy,
Ins and outs.
no, not ins and outs. Let's even read out who the top 5 midfielders are this season.
Who in the whole season?
This season so far,
Uch.
because
Top five.
I really do not want you to rush and take out De Bruyne now. Just check it if you can check
Are
it.
you talking about total points?
Yeah, total points.
No. So the thing about total points, and I've come to realize, is sometimes the total points can be quite deceiving. Why that meaning is that we're talking about form, right? So Haaland has, in fact, let's even just talk about that team because it seems that we keep going back there.
Yeah.
So so Man City, I mean, later on, today they'll be playing Tottenham. While we're recording, this will come after, whatever, it's confusing. But they're playing Tottenham, and then after that, they're playing Wolves. Now, the Haaland juju, we spoke about it 3 or 4 episodes ago when he said, what would happen when the Haaland magic starts? He
Blanks.
cannot continue like this. I mean, he literally can. If he continued at that record, he was going to score like 50 goals. Like,
So-
what the hell? Like, do you get this phenomenon?
Let me just shortly put, this is the English Premier League. I mean, this is football generally, and no matter how much form you're in, there'll come times where you blank. For example, look at Rashford yesterday. Now, a lot of people triple captained him, and he blanked. So I feel like Haaland will still deliver. In fact, he has already
exactly blank. He had a double game week, and he scored in the first.
He got
Rashford,
10 points.
right?
Yeah, he got 12 points, so that's like 30 something.
Okay,
Yeah,
but yeah,
he's
I'm still what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, they'll come difficult matches where players will blank. But I mean, I still
let me
feel
give you stats, right?
Yeah.
A large percentage, I'm not going to say the exact number, but a large percentage of football managers triple captained Haaland this game week. A large percentage. Now he's already blanked the first game, and so they are left to Tottenham now. And
I feel he's gonna score today.
I think we can write off. So I would have the discussion on Haaland if it means that he has weakened his presence, has weakened the Man City team. I would have that discussion, right? But having the discussion on Haaland that his goals will dry up
his goals won't dry up. But in terms of how he has done in the first season, in the first half of the season,
this is why I believe you said something.
So he has scored more goals than the first half of the season. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
He has scored more goals than the games in the first half of the season.
Yes.
Then he's about to start the second half.
See,
Do you understand? So it's actually premature to discuss.
No. So you're
looking.
you're looking at citizens. You mentioned something about Southampton showing us how to play City.
Yeah, I did.
Now, you went from there and we talked about, and you could actually just see that and the truth about in every football game.
It happened Southampton, and it happened 1 or 2 games after.
Chelsea even
it happened 1 or 2 games after. But guess what? You're dealing with literally the best gaffer in the world, I like to say. Do you get? So if we're sitting down here and talking about how De Bruyne has been cut out of the picture and the feed to Haaland has reduced, I think that Pep's only work in the next few days, and you'll see today, is how somebody else will feed Haaland. Maybe like a Foden.
I seem to remember. See, the last episode.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you remember the last time we spoke? The last time we spoke, we talked about the Man City game. We had all sorts of predictions, and Pep came and did his tongue.
I remember. Yeah, sorry, I remember. Yeah.
Man, you beat them.
You want to talk about that? But
no. Why I want to come out is like, look, all the thing that Pep said, I have something cooking. Something to bullshit.
But it's still
Pep
cooking.
Can't get it all the time. But
so where I'm trying to come out with this,
he's not going to fail it most times.
See, unfortunately, the thing about the way they play now, and I'm very curious to see where they go with this. Right? I have said this thing a long time ago. I think striker football is dead. A lot of people have disagreed with me. I think that number 9, the Van Nistelrooy, is dead. Right? Now, if your team is built around that striker football, right, it would affect your general gameplay.
Yeah, you become more predictable.
Where's the start from?
What?
In Madrid, you have Benzema. Madrid.
Mm-hmm. And I'll put
in Italy you have.
So now this is the thing about it, and I'll put it. This is one of the things. I will not call Benzema
is
striker,
not like a top 9.
No, I will not call Benzema. You call him a forward, and that's what I mean by striker football. So you have the man, what's this guy in?
Osimhen is a striker football.
Osimhen. No, I won't take Osimhen. Is even more cut on the mold of what do you call it?
Are you talking about like Fox in the box kind of strikers?
So the truth about it, So
exactly.
now
Inzaghi,
so what I'm talking
Nistelrooy.
about, not even a Fox in the box. So I'm even talking about have the striker like that would not touch the ball the whole game, right? He's just in that box, right? He's not even involved.
That's the Fox in the box.
He's not involved in the gameplay. He's not involved in he's not ball playing this thing, right? No, Fox in the box is usually a small guy that is there to finish up and everything. I'm talking of that tall, big guy, right, in the middle of that box that you hum the ball into
like
and you fuck it to go. Like when Ghost and things like that. I think that kind of football is dead, right?
All this Arsenal
and
fans,
then even so, one of the reasons why
honestly,
wait,
I'm
let's
you guys. No, I've been watching you guys.
Watch
for
that
a
match
bit.
Crystal Palace. That guy, it's just his head he has.
But that is so. I believe that, and that kind of football is dead, right? So the truth about it, and I said the thing with the way Liverpool, and we need to go for a break, so I'll just really wrap it up.
Okay.
The way Liverpool,
I'm getting hot.
the way Liverpool and Man City changed their style of football. And I think Arsenal too would have done the same if you brought Vlahovic. But the way they changed their style of football has affected the amount of goals they're shipping in. Right? Now, Arsenal now are just a couple of goals behind City and goals scored. Okay. However, we do not have a top 9. Our highest goal scorer is Odegaard with 8 goals.
8 goals, yeah.
Do you get? But we're scoring goals right round, and it makes us dangerous.
Yes.
There's no one you can hold. No one, and that's what's always been City's strength.
Yes.
Anyone can score. That's always been Liverpool's strength. Anyone can score. Now we're trying to play Nunes in. We're trying to play the ball early for Haaland to be one-on-one with the attacker.
I told you guys that,
and it's going to affect.
I told you guys that Nunes presence and buy in Liverpool would affect Salah.
It will.
Yeah,
it will.
definitely.
It's clear because they're changing the game way of play.
Yes.
And I think that's it. So people like Brentford, right? And Fulham
Can afford to play that
can
way.
play that kind of way. They're trying to be pragmatic and just steal a goal out
I 100% agree.
right?
with you.
But when you are the team that has to control the game, you have to
yes.
control the football. Like Rashford now
That's
is
more like
playing
a modern day
incredible.
football.
Yes. And Rashford is
so
not
I wish,
out and out
we
9.
can talk on and we'll go on a break. But please, just before we go on the break, I really do not understand a team playing very well, having a player playing very well that has scored in like several games, 7 games and everything. Do you understand? And you decide that you want to go and buy a head player and for I don't get that Man U's buy. To be honest.
I personally think that Man
and then
U
you
bought.
take Rashford out of the equation.
Prof, Oscar, a head player.
He's talking about he's one he's subbing Manu. So on that, let's take a break. Manu fans, just prepare your abuses. And we'll be right back. Yes, we're back. Don't forget to like, share, give your girlfriend,
Official
your
Naija
ex,
FPL.
Official Naija FPL. Let's, spread the word. We're over here. And don't argue, we don't know everything. And who knows, you might be just sitting where Jesse's sitting because they're not bouncing me. You might just be sitting where Jesse's sitting next week. Or where, Sticky's sitting.
You get me?
But, Prof, would you bounce Prof too?
I'm furniture.
So let's move into, I want to talk about something. There's something that's paining me.
It hurts you, though.
I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
Painful, really.
VAR.
Yeah. Oh.
So when VAR and when they introduced this thing to us, we first saw it in is it Euro? We saw it. It came slowly, and we thought that would be the end of shit refereeing.
Oh boy.
It's now like as if shit refereeing has now gone to a new level.
Yeah, a new level.
They've added the VAR referee to the shit refereeing.
I kind of think like the VR language is Spanish, so the English referees find it hard to understand.
Oh wow.
Supporte, podate.
Wow.
Oh wow. No, because that Man U game,
It's
the Man U City game,
incredible.
right? I'm sorry. I know a lot of Man U fans are going to come at me and they'll come after the show and say, look, I'm sorry, that's offside. I know.
We all know.
We know.
We know.
That is all offside.
No.
I'm sure you guys know as well.
They know now. Come on now. Stop it.
So I'll say something about it, yeah. I don't like the fact that Man U fans came to argue it and all of that. So no, I'm being
That's very
sincere.
Man U.
I'm being very sincere, right? If it happened to Arsenal, what I would say is, it was our luck. But the truth is that this is what happened.
Clear offside.
Right? And I do not think like there's an agenda for Man U calls. For calls to go the Man U way. Or I don't think there's an agenda in that game
Really?
for Man U to get the calls. Yeah? Because when we start to see it as an agenda, it's a different discussion.
Yeah.
But I just think like the English referees are is English word inept?
I mean,
Is
it's
it?
the FPL.
I think
No,
overwhelmed
EPL,
is
I
the
mean,
word I
I
would
don't-
rather take.
I don't think the English referees are quality, to be honest.
I think overwhelmed. I think they allow emotion because first of all, the fact that they were in Old Trafford, you already had the linesman raise his hand,
Yes.
right? He's done his job.
Yes.
It called it offside,
Bond.
right?
I stay in Lagos. Do you know how far Lagos is from the UK? I saw it from here.
Like, bruh. do you understand? I mean,
I saw it
bro, like
from here. That Yes.
Believe him.
Yeah.
Believe him.
Talk
I saw
less
it
of
too.
Somebody that was on the pitch there. No.
They had already blown the offside, though. Nigga had already said offside.
That was
Then
a
Bruno
very
come.
ridiculous call.
I tell you.
Then they started discussing. You know what I now even found out after? Was that they didn't go to VAR.
They didn't. No, they didn't. They actually said they were not going to use VAR for that decision. It was basically the referee's decision.
So that earpiece they have in their ear.
No. So
It's
So
for
if it was-
And it's
decoration.
impossible for them not to check.
So
It's
sorry.
impossible for them not to check using VAR, but they chose not to
Sorry.
show us
Okay.
because it's clear. It was really
Fine,
clear that
fine,
it was offside.
That they
If-
did
if-
not. So
if
what
they
they
didn't
said
check-
was that they didn't use
Bond.
VAR because it was a refereeing decision.
Okay, fine. Yes, it was a refereeing decision.
No, they said they were not
the
going to
linesman-
use the VAR to decide, right? But they clearly used VAR to check, but they didn't
No,
show
they
us
didn't.
that. No, it's impossible for them not to check.
I'm
with VAR.
telling you what the referee
no,
this
what
thing
he's trying to
said.
say is that
It was
the VAR referee in whatever box
they checked
saw it.
definitely, but
I mean, because
It
there's
was
communication
left
between
for-
the
they said it was
VAR and
left
the
for
referee.
the referee to make the decision.
That's my point. So what is the point of VAR? If me I can see say this thing you're doing is wrong.
And the linesman raised his flag.
The right man raised, then the referee is about to get it wrong because of his position play. So what's the point?
I mean, I don't think guys. I don't even think it has anything to do with position play or VAR or not. Let's go back to basic football where there was no VAR. When the linesman raises his flag, the referee blows for an offside,
It's done.
and
Well, so maybe we shouldn't go on this a lot because at the end of the season it evens out. Do you get what I mean? So every team has.
I don't like that. I don't like that
Bad and
argument.
good
I don't like
calls.
that
Yeah.
argument. You know why
I
I don't
agree
like?
with
You
you
know why I
though.
don't like that argument. Yes, every team has bad and good calls, but I don't like the argument because the truth about it is that okay, if that's the case,
This
right?
was a key match.
Wait,
yeah?
if that's the case, right? Leave your car open, right, with your keys inside, and say everything will even out. You self will get car from where you know deserve.
you
As
get
in,
me.
Around which area?
you would have to take.
Hopefully, somebody will leave his car for you as well.
I can do where I live in.
So you have to take precaution. You have to take.
I can do where I live in Banana.
But you have to take precaution. Baba, go shock you. There go
Alright.
banana your car. So let's just focus because we're supposed to talk on this segment about Arsenal, Man U, right? And yes, that's the game that's coming next.
Very hot.
Casemiro. Casemiro got his second fifth yellow,
Yeah, 50. Okay.
so he's not playing that game. How
Thank
much
God.
of a miss do you think it would be? Sticky, let's start with you.
Ten Hag said something about instinct, trying to protect his player, but I think that was cynical and unfortunate for him. Quite a costly mistake is going to be because
We're going to see.
I don't like to say this.
We're going to see how much
Arsenal
McTominay.
so much in form and
We'll see how
Really?
McTominay
Man U are
has
gonna
grown.
Nah.
McDaniel.
It was a funny statement Ten Hag made, but I just think like after Man U won Arsenal, he didn't go back to watch the game. He just took it that his team had won. He didn't go back to watch
he said that.
how the game really went. Did you get? Because he made a statement to say that the first time they won,
They won.
They didn't have Casemiro.
They didn't have Casemiro, so
And it's true.
It makes no difference not having Casemiro again. I can beat my chest to say this to you. I was literally arguing with some people earlier today on a group, and I say Casemiro is the best DM in the Premier League today.
Yes,
I'm an Arsenal
no
fan.
doubt,
I'm
no
an
doubt.
Arsenal fan.
no doubt.
Yeah, but
But
I
what
tell
about
you,
Partey?
no, I tell you that
Second
Casemiro
best.
is above Partey.
Okay.
Some guy was Shay Marcus was trying to argue with me to say that Rodri first, and then he brought out like who scored stats.
Rodri's
Show
a
that
bad
Rodri
guy.
first.
oh.
Yeah, so Rodri's a bad guy, but I don't know.
Rodri's a beast.
Rodri's a bad guy, yeah,
Rodri's a beast.
but I
In
don't
terms
know.
of
We're
that-
talking about this season. I think Casemiro
So far.
has been on another level, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he's the reason
One major
Manchester
reason why-
United is
yeah.
on the same point
They
with Man
proved,
City.
yes,
to be
Yep,
honest.
yep.
I have
Arguable,
to get it. I
arguable.
mean, it would be. See, the
Yeah.
truth about it, I think the reason why Manchester United is the same point with this thing is because they had a run of
Good games.
8 games to get shit right.
In
Right.
that run of 8 games,
Casemiro has
was
scored,
man
has
of the
given
match
assists.
twice.
I'm not disputing that, but I'm just saying they had that. That is the reason why they're the same point. I'm not
Yeah.
disputing that Casemiro is not a player, but that's the reason why they're the same point
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Man City. But based on the team itself, I think Casemiro is an important player for
Very
Man U.
important,
Really,
yes.
really important for Man U. And it's now based to see how they are able to, replace him or put in, McTominay and Fred, go back to that combination, see whether that works, or bring in Martinez and play him, who knows what this guy has. And
I try to analyze the Man U Arsenal match as real as I can. Yep, Bond. And I realize that it's going to be a very tough match because Arsenal's major strength beyond the middle is the wings, right? And in all of the games I've seen, I can see how Malacia can properly mark out Saka, young together, speed together, whatever.
And
While
Dalot.
Saka is also known for all those speed, slide, and cut off things.
I did a great job against Zaha last game.
Exactly.
Oh,
That is going
wonderful
to
tackle.
do against Martinelli, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm just hoping that there is that. I mean, I think it's going to be a very tactical match, to be honest, and I think that match is going to be won from the middle.
I think
Yes.
it all depends on Eriksen and Odegaard, as far as I'm concerned. They are the people that will make that game. Once any of them have space. So the truth is, as much as we say Casemiro is good, Eriksen has been phenomenal for Man U.
Yep.
Right? And he's just been the pass before the assist.
But it's
the
not like
thingy.
I mean the dirty jobs.
No, we
Casemiro.
agree. We understand with Casemiro. What I'm trying to bring out is if you take out Eriksen from that attack, right, they will be solid. But I don't think they'll be as fluid. Right?
I agree.
And so he makes it his
The
oil,
pass before the
in that
assist,
midfield.
yes.
The same with Odegaard, right? The tap, the little turnarounds, the little pa. So I think the amount of space that those
Are we
two
mixing
get.
roles?
But now we
What?
have.
No, I'm saying the amount of
I think
space.
the person that replicates Odegaard's role in
I'm not
Man U is
replicating.
Bruno. Okay.
No, you're not
yeah.
seeing what I'm saying. I'm not replicating. I'm saying what those
Who
guys
pulls the
do
strings?
for the
strings,
team.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you get for Arsenal? Odegaard is that guy in the middle that just makes. So Partey does the dirty hard work,
Dirty
and
job,
Odegaard,
yes.
Odegaard makes the thing
Fluid, he
just.
makes it very
Do you
fluid,
get? He's
easy.
throwing the passes
Like say
here and
the
there.
stir fry.
Exactly. The same with Eriksen in this thing. So yeah, Bruno does all that thing in front. The same with but I still think that those two guys and the amount of space they have, because when you watch the game against City, right, you see the space that was given to Eriksen in that second half.
He was
Yes.
always
Right.
finding the
Wow.
boxes, finding spaces.
He made them suffer, right? He was the one that passed that ball to Garnacho, So he has a way of creating the pass before.
I agree.
All those pockets.
So the same. So I think that's going to be the key to that game is where the amount of space. So if Partey is holding Eriksen hard, or if whoever is holding
Bruno,
Bruno
Odegaard.
or Odegaard, I think that's the amount of space those guys have would determine that game. So let's leave that. I just wanted to say something before we take a break. Liverpool Chelsea is playing this weekend and no one cares.
Oh wow.
On that, we take a break.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the final segment of official Naija FPL for this week. And we finished that last segment by mentioning Liverpool Chelsea.
Oh, boy.
I just want to
God help
I want
me.
that to marinate a little bit more.
God
That-
help me.
I mean, it's not even it's at this moment it seems like a mid-table bash. Like, on who's gonna let's not but what I
All
want to
these
bring
Arsenal guys, eh?
it's not why is it about Arsenal now? What did Arsenal
Don't
do
worry.
in this whole matter?
Last
That's a
season.
fallen Grace derby, yeah?
Anyway, so
Jesus.
You see,
wow, they said I'm falling Grace Derby.
No, it's fine. I mean, you guys can
falling
have
soldier.
it.
Crazy.
Check. So I wanted to bring out, I wanted us to talk about the transfer window, this segment.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't talk about the transfer window
Without
this
talking
year
about
without Chelsea.
Oh my God.
They are like,
We're everywhere.
you see, it's like, when Oyinbo man enter market.
It's like a sports.
When you
brats.
just see when
A
Oyinbo
sports
man enter
brats.
market and everybody just say, come buy this cap, 200 million, come buy this.
So I'll describe it as a rich sports
Oyinbo man
frustrated
enter
brats,
Agboju or somewhere gangster.
who
Balogun.
can't get what he wants, but he's frustrated and he has money, so he's
So
trying to inconvenience a lot of people.
what is annoying me in this whole Chelsea saga is this: Chelsea has some of the largest amount of players on loan. Now, the reason why you put players on loan is because you believe that they have potential, right? But they're not ready now. So you're putting them on loan for them to get better, for you to integrate them in your team. But what we've come to find that is Chelsea are not integrating these guys in team. I can bet you money, right, that this guy in maybe next year, because he probably won't be able to get the games, because at this rate now you're not making Champions League. So he probably won't be able to get the games to play. You're not making UEFA. So he's probably not going to get the games to play. So he's probably going to go on loan.
What are we talking about now?
Modric.
Okay.
Right? Modric. Right?
No,
he's probably going to go on loan next
he
season
can't
when he
go
doesn't
on.
get the games. The truth about it is that you have all these guys on ground, right? You have Sterling you're paying such amount of money on. You have, except you're going to kick out.
Can I play the devil's advocate on this?
Yeah.
Because really, there's no way to support Chelsea, to be honest. But I'll try. I mean, there's no way to. It's hard to support the stupidity, but let's put a reason to it. Do you get what I mean? So
We're going to explain their stupidity.
yes. So what I think is they have a new owner, Todd, right? And before the new owner came, they had a lot of. This is the only way I can explain it, because I've tried to give a reason. And before the new owner came, they had a lot of Abramovich loyals, because he was such a great guy for the club, and Abramovich leaving actually affected the club, and all those things were happening. And so they love Abramovich loyals, and so those loyals will pretty much still feel somehow with Abramovich leaving the club, right? So I think what Todd is trying to do is he's brought in his own gaffer, right? He first left Tuchel there and let Tuchel go for no reason, in my opinion, right? Because he's trying to build his own Chelsea, right? And so most of the players you've seen in Chelsea in another 1 or 2 years, they won't be in Chelsea anymore, right? It's these new boys that he's buying that will become the gaffer's loyalist and his own loyalist.
I'm not disputing that.
So he's ready to sacrifice. So he's not the Modric that will go on
but
loan.
where I'm trying to bring out is this, and this is the thing about it is, so you want a new fresh team.
Yes, he's
right?
building a whole new team.
So now my point about in building this team is that you have to have some sort of direction in which you're building the team.
I think there's a direction.
That's your opinion.
Yeah.
So my personal opinion, right, is that this is the same owner, right?
I don't believe what I'm saying, no.
No. This is the same owner, right? That bought Sterling, right? And made him the highest earner in Chelsea. Right? Now, you brought in Aubameyang, right? And made him. Do you get your line?
Obama Black Cat.
You let Lukaku go, right? And all these people are on your page. Are all in your structure. You have people like Hudson-Odoi. You have all.
Letting Lukaku go is okay.
No, my own is that it's all relative, because he was balling somewhere. It could just be that he had a problem with that coach. So if you're letting Lukaku go and then you not let the coach go, what if Potter can use the Lukaku better than he?
Lukaku is the only reason I regret not going into football fully.
so wait, my point is, where I want to say, my point with this thing.
I didn't believe that.
Actually, I did not have Lukaku. This is somebody earning 350k a week. Calm down. So my point is this thing is, Chelsea, you're talking about building a team, right? Building a team from scratch, right? Building a team that you grow with. Now, before there has to be a foundation on that team, right? Some of these players have to have experience. Now, my own is with Modric, right? I think Arsenal was going to bring him for the future. I think they're buying him for as a player that would, the same way we bought Martinelli and players like that. But the boy is incredibly talented. Everyone can see that. And Chelsea have gone for him. And where my point is, and I said this before the show, is that... No, my point is, as talented as that boy is, he really doesn't understand what it is to play in first team in professional football yet. He's played 23 games in Shakhtar. No offense to Shakhtar, they are no Premier League team, right? So their basic terminologies, basic formation movements, basic understanding of set pieces.
He's got a couple of goals in the Champions League.
Sorry, let me just cut.
The point is, I still repeat. I don't want to say. I still say that is what I'm saying. My own is that I'm not saying the boy is not talented, but he will need a lot of games to reach the power of understanding and the discipline in playing in the Premier League. So that's my own, and I think
I'm trying
that
not to sound like an Arsenal fan.
Okay,
Right?
guys.
I'm trying to sound like an Arsenal fan.
Let's stick
I
it.
just
Let's
want to
have
say
to
this.
stick it.
You know, Prof said, okay, yeah, we're trying to build a team. Todd has a plan, and yes, everybody would always have a plan. You know, when one regime passes, a new regime comes, and you know, it's going to take time. Of course, there'll be mistakes. You know, there'll be bad buys, and there'll be great buys, and you know, and so I feel, you know, whatever it is we're buying right now, I just even think it's just so that we can try and settle in the midst of this chaos that's going on in Chelsea against next season. That's all I think.
I also think that Chelsea is trying to buy because they are about to give them a ban because of the amount of money they are spending, and Chelsea knows that. Look,
that's relative.
the way that we are going now, we're probably going to get some ban. So let's buy it all now and just get it out of the way.
I don't think,
because
I don't
honest
think so.
to God, coming in and spending close to 300 to 500 million, right? And I cannot see the value, right? You go in and your defenders, you've bought how many defenders this season? And all of them don't seem as if you want to play
By
them.
the way, you know we have about 10 players injured.
No,
Yes.
of course, that is probably why you guys are not doing well. You guys are quite unlucky. But I'm saying even the new defenders you have aren't playing. So what's the point? Is that for the future?
Well, we can't play everybody at the same time.
You
now.
can't, but the truth is you're still going to the good one and you know, say, guys.
I respect Graham Potter. I really do. And I hope Chelsea will not rush to push him out of the door, because that'll be, at that point, if Chelsea pushes Graham Potter out of the door, then I can say that Todd doesn't know what he's doing. Because Tuchel just left, Graham Potter is there. You're buying all of these players under Graham Potter. If a new gaffer comes,
Oh, wait, players. He's only bought one player under Graham Potter. A bit two.
No, I mean,
three.
Chelsea has a lot of players that have been
we have a
bought
lot of
this season,
players,
for
yeah.
instance. Do you
Yeah, but it's
understand?
under Tuchel.
Yeah, some were bought under Tuchel, and some are being bought
Even
under
we bought like 5-6
Graham
players
Potter.
under
Yeah.
Potter already.
under Potter. Yeah,
That means I bought 5,
this
6 players.
January alone, you bought 5
Yeah,
or 6. Yeah.
Jesus.
There's
It's
still
as if it's
Nkunku.
5.
Nkunku is in that team now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mad.
Yes.
But injury as well.
No, Nkunku is coming in the summer.
Yeah,
But he's
they
still
bought him.
injured.
Yeah, they bought him.
Well, I just think Chelsea should put hope on Potter, and I don't think it's all blue.
I think
for
you are
Chelsea.
saying that because you want Chelsea to continue going down.
Um,
You are
my God.
speaking evil.
I'll be
into
back
their
for you
lives.
guys next season, Sha.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's all blue for the Blues.
So before
But like
we,
you said, it wouldn't be
Oh my
wise
God.
for them to like let Potter go.
I
now.
want to.
You
I
guys
want,
are killing
I want to.
me.
I want to finish this
You
thing.
guys are killing
Since we
me.
have a couple of Arsenal fans here, I want to say one last question. What do you guys think about Trossard in Arsenal?
Oh,
Real quick one because I have 2 quick questions. I personally think it's a good deal.
yeah, I think it's a good deal
28.
too. Less than 30 M.
Yeah, less than 30
established in the Premier League.
he can walk into the game. He understands that formation play, which I was talking about, that Modric might not understand yet.
Yeah,
I want you to
he'll
play
score
this,
goals
this,
and
and he
no,
will score goals. He will
great
be able to
effects.
play. You know, the UEFA is coming. You know,
Yes.
Europa League is
Europa League
coming
as well.
I hope you guys, if I'm proven wrong, it will be joy.
So basically, I don't think it is a good idea.
I think it was a desperate buy. It was a buy because I think that team, Edu and Co, were just thought about Modric and did not have a plan B. They just felt they were going to get him.
Let me.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't
no,
think-
definitely,
let me say
definitely.
something.
Trossard
Do you remember Emerson?
Trossard is like an aftermath.
Trossard is everything that is not in our trust the process. Trossard is everything that is not
Why
in
do
our
you say
trust
so?
the process. First is 28 going on 29, right?
It's not forever.
Yeah, I know, but we've not even looked at any player like that in a while.
Listen,
We
it's not-
haven't. So it's this is happening out
No,
of
but
the
you're
Modric
buying.
shock.
See, but you're buying somebody for. See, this is the truth about it. We are buying this player now,
Do you-
right?
Sorry, can I
let
ask
me
a
just say
question?
something now. Yeah?
Arsenal,
Oscar.
Arsenal could have bought a player like this in the summer. We could have
Prof
bought a player
Oscar.
like this early
Prof
January.
Oscar.
No, but
Just a
Oscar,
question.
but
Never
we need
looked.
him now. No, the truth about it is that, right? This is the thing, and I always say this thing right now, right? The part of the problem is this, right? We need a player, right? We tried to get a winger before the summer ended, right? They priced us out of the market, right? With Rafinha and the likes, right? And we didn't. We managed to enter the league and we managed to go as far as we are. But we still know that we need someone to be able to play around up front there. I mean, Smith Rowe will take a couple of games to get on this thing. What's his other guy's name? He's not up to par at the moment. So we need somebody. Marquinhos is not there. So we need somebody, right? Just to fill in that gap, right?
If you guys are going to win the league.
So
you guys
exactly. So that's why I feel
depth.
Trossard is there. It's not a guy that you're looking to say he's going to be part
I mean,
of the
I feel
team
you guys
for
have
long.
Definitely, it's
but-
like afterthought by definitely,
Yes, that's-
but
that's-
You know,
that's
I wanted to say, no,
he's
but
still-
we know this
he's
thing
still
about.
It was
Still a
another
December.
team doing it. Nobody's going to applaud an afterthought.
It's
by
not even a. I
I'm
see.
sorry, but nobody. See, when you said
Who wants
Arsenal could not-
applaud?
Arsenal
Fuck
could not-
applaud.
Arsenal could not get Martinez, but they went for Zinchenko. It was not an afterthought per se.
It was an afterthought.
No,
by.
let me explain what I'm saying. Zinchenko was already been. They were going for Zinchenko and Martinez. That in case we do not get Martinez, we will go for Zinchenko. And there were a lot of buys like that. There was the Vlahovic and Jesus buy. Let me just.
No,
come
no,
down
no,
to
no.
it.
That was not the same.
Let me just. Come down
Vlahovic
to it.
was
Let me just
different
come down to it.
player.
You know when you have people in your tail.
Mm-hmm.
Mudryk, Arsenal had been going for Mudryk since October. Trossard was just offered to us because he had a quarrel with his gaffer. Do you understand? My point is this. My point is simple, yeah. Arsenal, in all of this process, and you'll be surprised I'm talking like this because I'm not that Arsenal fan that talks like this. But in all of this process, sometimes Arsenal would have to make statements. I would have thought, man, let's just go.
But you will not get a statement.
No,
See,
we can't.
see,
It's
no,
money.
Oscar. No, Oscar.
It's
you buy.
money.
See, this is what I want to say. Wait. Let me.
We could, if we go to Borussia right now and we drop 100 million
For who?
for Diaby, Musa Diaby. He will come and it will be a better statement.
Can I?
And it will,
can I?
it will
Can
be a
I
better
say?
statement
Let me
than
say.
losing Mudryk.
Let me say something.
You can't lose Mudryk
No.
and
Let me
buy
say this.
Trossard.
No, let me say this now. Now wait.
Well,
Borussia Dortmund.
I
Wait,
see where you're
an
coming
after
from.
meal.
Wait, can
I
I
see where you're
can I
coming
from.
can I
Trossard's
say
an
what I want to
after
say?
meal
Wait. I don't want to shout over people, right?
Eh?
I don't want
Do you
to
understand where I'm
shout.
coming from? Yeah.
Oscar, I don't want to shout over people. Let's calm down. Look at something. Now I want to say this, right? Now you say you go and pay this guy 100 million.
Yeah.
It is very clear at this market. If
They don't want to spend
If
that
you are
much.
selling, if no, not even about spending that money. If this market is pricing Modric at 100 million,
Yeah.
there's no way we'll get Diaby at 100. It's
No,
not possible.
we'll get him,
We will not pay from Borussia Dortmund. We would not. They would not sell him at the 100. They would not. So the truth
How much
is,
did they sell him?
wait till summer, right? Because at that point in time, you're not in the middle of the season. Right now, it's like we're talking about somebody buying a car. Wait,
If he's 120, we should buy him.
let me say, Oscar. It's
That's
not
the
good.
statements that we are making
Oscar,
to other
wait,
teams.
Oscar, this is thing about statement and you talk about it is it's like buying an expensive car just to prove to your neighbor that you're doing well.
They happen.
Or buying the car that you need to take you to work. Or buying you the
Yes,
spare car that will take you to work. Right? There are two things. You can say, okay, you know what?
I agree
I'm
with
going to
that
wait a bit and
philosophy
then
though,
when
yeah.
the market is right for me, I'll buy that statement car that
Man,
works
but
for my team long
however,
term.
I
So
don't think
I want to mention
Trossard
something
is a
to you. I
bad
want to
buy.
remember. Wait now.
Why are you wearing designer frames?
Wait
Just
now,
so
let
that
me
you can-
let me say what I want to say now. Do you remember Emerson Royal? We chased Emerson Royal the whole of the season before, right? Right down to the final couple of days of the season, right?
Yeah.
And then Tottenham bought him. You remember?
Yeah.
Who did we replace him with?
Remind us.
Tomiyasu.
Okay.
Now, and I remember what was said about Tomiyasu when we came in. Who the fuck is this guy? Our guys are chasing Emerson Royal and we have gone for Tomiyasu. If you ask an average Arsenal player now, whether they'll take Tomiyasu,
not just an average player, like a normal
anybody,
footballer.
will you take a Tomiyasu or an Emerson Royal? I'm sure most people say Tomiyasu.
Yeah, facts, no. Facts.
So, and my point is, we went for Tomiyasu final day of the season. It seemed as desperate as it could be.
Yeah, but it was a smart move. And
Excellent
I still think
move.
it's a smart.
So my point is this,
Yeah.
right? With the Trossard deal, right? You're buying this player. You're probably not going to give him more than a 3-year deal or 4-year deal max. So that 4 years, so that you're able to sell him, right? But you're really looking to play him for 2 years,
Yeah.
27
right?
million.
Exactly. You're looking to pay him for 27 million. You know that in 2 years you can sell Trossard for 20 million or 15 million. Facts.
You will not sell Trossard for 20 million in 2 years.
Trossard.
I said Spurs actually, the Spurs bid for Trossard was 12 million. There's a reason.
When was Spurs
I mean,
bid for Trossard?
2 days ago.
You want? So
was
my point
told
is you are
Spurs are
comparing.
not a serious.
I don't understand
Spurs are not a
Spurs.
You don't get what I'm trying to say.
Spurs.
Whether or
I
not-
beg, let's send this 12 dead men,
It's the same
yo.
way-
Spurs.
They're not
No,
as
but
serious.
It's the same way. It's the same
Who have they
way-
bought which are serious? Richarlison.
Bro,
And you go back to that idiot Richarlison.
I mean, Richarlison is a good player. Spurs bought Kulusevski.
I beg, fuck this
No,
man.
no,
I'm
what
outta here.
Hey guys, we'll leave you guys here. We'll continue this argument. We'll see you next time. And then
Official
we'll see
Naija
where this
FPL.
goes. Look on the top of your screen. Follow us. Do everything. Join our league.
Oh my
We're here
days.
together. Please tell me.
Bye.